You are watching Woman Without Limits.
It's not what you possess out here that makes you beautiful. It's what you possess on the inside. I am a peacemaker, but y'all know what a peacemaker is? A peacemaker is somebody who declares war on anything that disturbs their peace. And the minute you mess up my peace,
don't you let where you've been hinder you. Don't let what they've said hinder you. Don't you let your past hinder you. You're a woman without limits. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. A woman without limits. Yes, you are. There's nothing the enemy can do to stop what God has for you. There's nothing the enemy can do to stop what God has for you. You're a woman without limits. Woman, 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 woman without limits. Na 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 na. Woman without limits.
you only count stars at night. Somebody is in a night season right now. God is saying in this your night season, I want you to begin to count the blessing of the Lord that maketh rich and addeth no sorrow with it.
Hello there. I'm inviting you for the Daughters of Zion meeting. It's going to be on 27th of May. Now, if you want to know how the Daughters of Zion meetings have been, you better find out.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So just say beautiful.
In your night season, God is speaking over your life. It doesn't matter how dark it is. The stars, if you can number them, then you can number where God is taking you.
Don't miss it for anything. It's going to be absolutely awesome.
Now, something happened in between my last year in high school and university. I had traveled to visit some relatives in South Africa. But just to take you a little bit back, my sister, who is the late, was epileptic. And we used to know that she should not miss her medicine. She used to take a pill every day to, to
Keep her
contain
from convulsions,
her
yeah.
convulsions. And if she missed maybe 2 in a row, she would get the convulsions, and they were pretty, pretty bad. So this time I'm on holiday. My sister was very, very prayerful, and they had joined what is called, gosh, do I remember the name? I've forgotten. A certain Christian scientists and Scientology, something like that. This group of people believed that you do not take medicine. You trust in the good Lord to heal you. It was not just my sister who joined this group, it was also my mom, the two of them. They were very strong in their beliefs, stronger than me. And somehow this Christian Scientology, they seemed to connect with it. They even started going to this church. I personally continued, I and my brother continued to go into a Catholic church, but they went to this Scientologist church. Now, apparently, while I was away, for some reason, they decided that the reason that my sister was not getting well, despite the prayers and so on, was because she didn't trust the Lord enough to surrender her life to Him so that He could heal her. Anyway, long story short, they decided that my sister would move into the leader's home so that he could now take over the prayers and guide her, and finally she could get healing. So she moved in with my mom's consent. She moved in to this couple's home, and she stayed with them for 2 weeks. But in those 2 weeks, her condition deteriorated because she stopped taking the pill.
Wow.
Well, that was the condition, that you gotta surrender your medicine and
And
trust.
be properly saved.
Yes, be properly saved indeed. And she did that, and her condition deteriorated. The convulsions and got to exceedingly dangerous. By the time they were calling my mom to come and get her, she was a vegetable. And this is only 2 weeks. She was a vegetable because the convulsions, when she convulses, or any epileptic person, your heart, it stops. Every time it convulses, your heart stops. So the more that happens, the more you put a strain on your heart. By the time they're calling my mom, come, she was a vegetable. A vegetable. My mom, of course, did go, rushed her to hospital, called me to come home. By the time I got there, she was gone.
What?
Just like that.
Just like that.
Like
Because she was
gone.
not supposed to take any medicine.
Any medicine.
Oh no. Wow. How many years younger was she than you?
3.
3. Okay.
2 things happened. I was angry. I was so angry. I was angry at my mom because I said, as a medical doctor,
Why? How now?
how?
Yeah.
And yet at home, I used to be reprimanded for not keeping up with the schedule of her medicine. If I forget, to remind her to take her medicine, I would be whooped. Because, she's my sister, she's my responsibility. I cannot forget because I know the consequences. But she allowed my sister to go to these people for 2 weeks and not take her medicine. I could not begin to
Comprehend.
even want
Yeah.
to accept, to think, it just didn't make sense. Secondly, what kind of God is this? What kind of God is this? How would a child trust you with her life for you to save her? And you let her down? You ignore her? What kind of God is this? For me, that was the end. I just could not see how this is the God that we trust. I was disappointed in God. I felt He let her down. In our family, she was the believer, the believer. And I felt He let her down. And I just, this God is he's not who they say he is. Anyway, so I had a disconnection with God. I stopped even the basic prayers. I stopped reading the Bible. And I just went through school, high school, graduated. My mom wanted me to do medical school. I didn't want to do medical school.
You're here?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
You want
sorry.
to, yeah.
My voice has.
I know.
So I graduated.
Yeah.
My mom wanted me to do medical school. I didn't want to do medical school for even the fact that what had just happened a year or so ago and you're a medical doctor, all that was in my head. I just didn't want to do medical school. I didn't want to do medical school. I didn't want to pray. I didn't want to. I just didn't want to do anything. Anyway, I did go to medical school for one semester. And when we went on holiday, I never went back. But what happened is when we closed for holidays, I went to visit my father and never came back.
Your father wasn't living there?
No, my father was living. No, remember, my parents were not married. They just had me.
Oh, hello.
They
Okay. You left us hanging.
Sorry. Oh, no, they just had me. They
yeah.
just had me. And my mom went and got married later and had a full life.
Okay.
And my father went on and got married and had a full life.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you are not in the equation.
No, I was not in the
All right.
equation.
Okay.
So I went to visit my father and just never came back. Eventually, remember I said I was raised by my mom's side, the Tanzanian side. It was time to come and visit my grandparents, my paternal grandparents in Kenya for the first time. And because I didn't want to go back to Lusaka, I said I will come to Kenya and visit my grandparents as I decide what I want to do. And I came to Kenya, visited my grandparents. On my way back, not wanting really to go back, I was in Nairobi, sort of transiting. I made friends with a certain lady called Mula, almost have not seen for years. It was my birthday, and Mula decided to take me out. But you see, I had a problem with sort of Mula's environment. Not Mula as a person, but her environment.
Yeah.
So Mula wants to take me out. Mula wants to take me out, but I have seen her boyfriend. Her boyfriend is those guys with a bouncing castle. Those one pack.
One pack.
One pack.
They have a bouncing
They have
castle.
a bouncing castle. They have a one pack. I had seen her boyfriend and she
Yes.
wants to take me out. And I knew where she takes me is where this man will be. And I could just imagine the kind of people,
The friends.
the friends
would
that
be
will
one
be there
packs.
with other bouncing
One pack.
castles, the
Yeah.
one packs. And you see, I really don't know people in Nairobi.
Right.
Now, it's my birthday. She means well. But the
But her friends don't mean well.
Her friends, and I could not see myself in that environment.
Right.
So I told her, okay, you can take me out, but I don't do bars. I don't do hotels. I don't do restaurants.
So where are you going, Nana?
And I don't want to go to that man's house. So she's left, with this situation that she has to manage. And eventually, Bright Mula, they come up with a situation. And I say, Mula, do you remember what I told you where I don't want to go?
Yeah.
We got taken care of. And I don't want people. Okay, no people, no party, no
Just
what.
me and you, yeah.
Just us.
Yeah.
I knew I couldn't get rid of the friend, but it's okay. Just us. So eventually, this friend, one pack,
Yes.
wise man though, I got to learn,
Eh.
ended up organizing to have me have this birthday party celebration at his nephew's house. So when we got into the car, I asked Mula, where are we going? He says, a house. I said, his house, I told you. No, not his house. a nice place. Okay. So it was his nephew's house. So we get to this house. There is this young man cooking in the kitchen, preparing a meal frantically.
The nephew now.
The nephew. The only good thing is there were no people, so I was happy. There are no people. It's just us and this young man in the kitchen cooking. You know, it was those houses, you're sitting in the living room.
You can
but
see.
you've got the window, you can see.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, and this young man keeps coming out, you know, trying to really make us feel at home, yet he's preparing something. And I'm looking at this young man, quite impressed, looks decent,
And he can cook.
and he's cooking. And I don't know him, and I know he doesn't know me. But anyway, so this young man says, oh, this is my nephew's house. He lives here with his cousins. I told him we had a friend who we want to entertain her birthday. We can't take her anywhere else in this country, apparently. But we'll bring her to your house. You do something.
Yeah.
Now, he was hoping because he stays with his cousins that his cousins would come early and cook. But he comes home, the girls are not there. So he starts preparing something because these guests are coming and we better have something because
Yeah.
this girl even has to go back home quickly. So eventually this young man comes, he's introduced to us and you know, we eat, the cousins come, we have a great meal, they have a cake, they sing for me. I'm really happy. I'm so happy that, you know, they had thought out of the box to bring me
Right.
here. But I'm so impressed by this young man.
Hey, okay. You know, the way you started, this young man, this window. We were suspicious, eh?
So of course Mula and her friends had the night for them had just started. They had places to go.
Right.
So they asked this young man if he could take me home.
Hey.
And I didn't mind.
Now, because he can cook now. He can cook now, he can drive.
Hey, he can cook, he can drive.
Okay.
I said, I didn't mind
Yeah.
to be taken home by this guy. So he drove me home and I was leaving in a week's time. But he said, okay, since you don't know Nairobi,
Yeah.
I can come and show you around. I can drive you around and show you the city. I said, yes. Yes, come on tomorrow.
If you can show me the way you are cooking, I'm fine.
This is the girl who didn't want to go to a restaurant.
Yeah.
Where? Now, yes, take me around, show
Yes,
me.
yes.
Yes. And the next day in the evening after work, he came, he picked me, drove me around Nairobi, showed me the city. I still had 6 days to go. And he said, you know, there is a Great Rift Valley towards Naivasha.
Hey, okay.
Okay, I also want to see that one.
Yes.
So there we were in another date, second date.
Right.
Hey, I was on a roll. You know, there's in life there's something that comes with what is supposed to be. This is connecting dots backwards.
Right.
There was no struggle. Things just flowed.
Connection.
And in
the
life, I've
chemistry.
learned that when things are right, you will not encounter resistance and things like that. Things flow because somehow God has ordained this to be. That is now connecting dots backwards.
Right.
But anyway, we went to the Great Rift Valley, and there was a lot of laughter.
Yes.
And, you know. Anyway, eventually, I left back to Lusaka, and I told my mother, I'm not going to medical school, but I want to do what I want to do, what I've always wanted to do, which is, you know, computers, IT, and so on. And I want to do them in Nairobi.
Near Great Rift
I
Valley.
want to go. I want to go and study in Nairobi.
Right.
By the way, at that point, my mother was just happy to just have her daughter back and that she wants to go back to school. That was really, you know, because anyway, the relationship was very strained between us since my sister passed on. So we were also trying to repair our relationship. But she allowed me to do what I wanted to do. And I came back to Nairobi. And therefore,
The man cooked.
Now,
Eh.
he never cooked again. He never cooked again after that. But that was not the point. The point is, I came back. And when I came back, this relationship continued and flourished. And this is the man I married.
Hey! Seriously? Oh my God. That's the one you have your babies with.
17 years later. Yes, 17 years later.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
Your firstborn is 17.
My firstborn is 16, turning 17 at the end of this year.
So you got married and got busy. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow. Come on, somebody. And now you have your...
And
Talk about the way God orchestrates things.
And
He's
my-
just too
let me
much.
just say, if my son, my second son watches this, and I stopped at saying my firstborn,
Yeah.
he will say, why didn't you
Why?
tell him you have a secondborn?
Yes, yeah.
So my secondborn is 13.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's so cute.
Vidra is 13.
Yeah.
Now, this I've learned this in life, that somehow we already have the answers within. When God put us here, he already knows what he wants us to do. And I always feel that every time I take time to listen in prayer, in solitude, the answers do come. And whenever I find things I'm resisting, I'm finding rejection, I always ask myself, Nana, you need to sit back and listen. Is there something you are missing? Is this the direction you're supposed to be going? And I just go into prayer about it and listen and listen. God orchestrates these things. And when somebody or something is set aside for you, it is for you.
It is.
No one can take it away.
Nobody.
No matter what. If it was not meant to be, it was not. But if it is meant to be for
It's
you,
gonna be.
it's gonna be.
Wow.
Yeah.
You only count stars at night. Somebody is in a night season right now. God is saying in this your night season, I want you to begin to count the blessing of the Lord that maketh rich and addeth no sorrow with it.
Hello there. I'm inviting you for the Daughters of Zion meeting. It's going to be on 27th of May. Now, if you want to know how the Daughters of Zion meetings have been, you better find out.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So just say, beautiful.
In your night season, God is speaking over your life. It doesn't matter how dark it is. The stars, if you can number them, then you can number where God is taking you.
Don't miss it for anything. It's going to be absolutely awesome.
It's not what you possess out here that makes you beautiful. It's what you possess on the inside. I am a peacemaker, but y'all know what a peacemaker is? A peacemaker is somebody who declares war on anything that disturbs their peace. And the minute you mess up my peace,
You only count stars at night. Somebody is in a night season right now. God is saying in this your night season, I want you to begin to count the blessing of the Lord that maketh rich and addeth no sorrow with it.
Hello there. I'm inviting you for the Daughters of Zion meeting. It's going to be on 27th of May. Now, if you want to know how the Daughters of Zion meetings have been, you better find out.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So just say, beautiful.
In your night season, God is speaking over your life. It doesn't matter how dark it is. The stars, if you can number them, then you can number where God is taking you.
Don't miss it for anything. It's going to be absolutely awesome. That's amazing. So now, Nana, okay, fast forward. You love women and helping women. And
That is, now you've touched my my soul.
Yeah.
Now you've touched my soul.
Tell us about that. Is that what inspired you to even begin?
Power Woman International.
Right.
Power Woman International, we build houses for ostracized widows. This is very important to me. Why ostracized? People ask me. Ostracized because, yes, a widow is a widow, you've lost somebody you love. But the ostracized widow has got a cultural element to it. A culture that rejects this widow out into oblivion. No rights, no recognition. You and your children out, and you live with the clothes you're wearing on your back. It's bad enough that you've already lost your husband. Now, for a few people, they may not know what is ostracization or the culture that leads to this. And by the way, this is not a phenomena that is unique to Kenya. It is practiced in the southern sub-Saharan Africa, but in Kenya, mainly in the western part of Kenya. When a woman's husband dies, she's required by culture to be cleansed and to be inherited. Now, cleansing is a sexual act. In some cultures, it's by a madman. In some cultures, it is by an appointed cleanser, meaning there is somebody who is known as a cleanser. Their job is to move from one widow's house, cleanse her without protection, sexual act, cleanse the next one, cleanse the next one, cleanse the next one, cleanse the next one. That's also one of the reasons why we have a very high HIV prevalence in that part of Kenya. After you're cleansed, you can now be inherited by one of your in-laws. Now, the women who have had the courage to stand up against this culture and say, no, I will not be objected to being cleansed. I will not be inherited, I refuse. These are the women who are ostracized. So ostracization means simply that
You're an outcast.
live with what you have on your back because you cannot take anything from this home. And now that you've refused to be cleansed, it means you carry death. You carry death because you're not cleansed. You see, you're supposed to be cleansed to remove
Death from you.
this thing that killed your husband. You are carrying it. You need to be cleansed of it. But now you've refused to be cleansed, you're carrying this death. And therefore, you cannot live amongst normal people. So you cannot even live in the community. This is not the woman you welcome into your home, for the fear that she may leave her death in your house. This woman's children are not the children your children play with, for the fear that your children may carry that death that they are carrying. So this ostracized widow is found in the outskirts of society, in the bushes there. That's where they live. That's the reason we pick this woman as the woman we want to support. Once in a while, we do get calls of women who are not, of widows who are not ostracized, but they feel that this particular widow really needs help. And once in a while, we will go and if we will assess the situation. And then if we feel, yes, she needs, we must help her, we will. But really, our core is working with the ostracized widows. And we work with them long term. We have 4 pillars. Our first pillar is shelter. That's why we say we build houses for ostracized widows. Why? Because of where you find this widow. Remember, she's been
Ostracized, rejected.
out.
Yeah.
So you find her in the bush there. And because you have no protection of your family, nor the community, they are subject to, they are exposed. So it's so normal for them
To be
be
raped. Yeah.
physically, emotionally beaten. It's normal to find a pregnant widow who's been raped with her pregnant teenage daughter. Both of them are pregnant. It's a very sad story.
Oh my goodness.
But it is also extremely sad because this is supported by culture. Therefore, even if you don't support it, people don't openly speak up against it for the fear of,
What
oh,
if?
even you want to be disinherited or ostracized.
Yeah.
So even people who don't approve, they quietly just stay at the corner and keep quiet. Because you don't want to go against the entire
So
society.
she has nobody to
She
fight
has
for her.
nobody to fight
She's
for
alone
her.
in life.
Yes.
Sure.
So the first shelter, the first pillar
Jesus.
for us is shelter because of where we find them. It's really to give them that form of security. Our second pillar is counseling and well-being. Because of obviously what they have been subjected to, counseling is major. The third pillar for us is economic empowerment. This woman, we must enable her. Skill building, training, what can we do, capacity building, to ensure the woman can generate some income to take her kids to school, to put food on the table. And the last pillar is education for the future, for the children of these widows. They must go to school. I have a dream that one day, these little boys, these little girls that have been ostracized with their mothers, one day they'll be our pilots.
Amen. Amen.
One
Amen.
day.
Our doctors.
One day they'll be
Our
our
lawyers.
doctors, our lawyers,
Yeah.
our presidents,
Yes. Amen.
our leaders.
Amen.
Because they have been through this.
Yeah.
They'll be the ones to end that kind of
And
culture.
even finish that.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Bring
That's
a
my
healing
dream.
and a
So I say,
restoration.
when we work
Wow.
with these women,
Yeah.
we work with them long term. Because these kids, we must see them becoming somebody in society. Yeah.
Now, you're the immediate past president of Rotary Club of Nairobi.
Oh, Nairobi
Yeah,
East.
East, yes. Tell
I'm
us about
very
that.
proud of that.
Yeah.
Rotary Club of Nairobi East is the coolest club on the land.
Yeah?
Oh, yes. So if you ever want to go to Rotary, go to Rotary Nairobi East. Rotary is about service. For me, as I said, I learned service very early in life. In fact, I say I was born in service. I was born in Rotary. Through my grandmother, my mother was a Rotarian, you know, and she used to take me to all the Rotary meetings. She used to take me to all this community service work she does. So service for me is really who I am. It is a place where I encounter God one-on-one. You know, God, what am I doing? What do you want me to do? Show me. I will do it. Show me the direction. What do I need to do? That's where I encounter God one-on-one. And I feel that that's my calling. That's where I'm supposed to be. In Rotary, we raise funds for different projects. And one of the things I did as the Rotary president is I led 39 climbers to Mount Kilimanjaro last year.
Wow.
I don't know how many of you have ever
Wow.
climbed a mountain, Mount Longonot, Mount Suswa. I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro all the way to the top, to Uhuru
Wow.
Peak. 4 days up, 3 days up, 2 days down. Those are
Wow.
5 days on a mountain. You don't shower. There's no shower. You
Yeah.
just wipe down. You eat basic food. But it was one of those things you do in life that build you as a person, as a human being. That is where I also learned that in life you are going to reach a point where it's no longer about your physical ability. It's not the way you look. It's not your strength. It's not how big, how tall you are, whom you know. It is about your inner strength. What it takes you to get to the top of that mountain, because your feet stop, your eyes freeze, your hands stop, they're frozen, you can't think. But somewhere within you, you find the strength to just keep
Take another
one
step.
forward then another step, then another step, long after your body died, physical body just died. So I'm one of those people who's got tremendous inner strength. Inner strength.
Wow. Tell us, branding,
Beyond
this branding
borders.
beyond borders. Yes, what is that beyond borders?
Branding beyond borders is we scout for speakers from around the world. Speakers that we bring to an African experience, because we want to be part of showcasing who Africa is, who we are as a people, as a culture. And when I say for an African experience, it's because we want to take them to South Africa, we want to bring them to Kenya, Kampala, Rwanda, Lagos, Cairo, Morocco, and then out. But we dictate the narrative of Africa because we want them, when they leave, they'll be able to tell a different story of who the African people are.
Yeah.
With a mandatory stop in Kenya. So every speaker we bring must stop in Kenya. We hold seminars, we have office tours, we have CEOs breakfasts, and executive coaching. So Branding Beyond Borders was launched last year, and it came from a place where we saw that there is a need to just interact with the global world. Yes, we do have our movers and shakers here, but we wanted to deliberately create a platform where we bring in other gurus. With our gurus here, one platform. Let's have a signage of ideas, exchange ideas, network. Let's challenge the status quo. The point is, at the end of the day, we all live enriched and knowledgeable.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. What is Salt Away Investment Limited?
Oh my goodness, you even have that one. That is my baby, my baby. And quickly, I'll tell you, quickly. Salt Away Investment was born out of I, as a mother, deciding I want to be a stay-home mom. My full-time employment of system development, ITs, networking used to take me across the globe just doing this work. But when we were ready to have children, I told my husband, I want to stay home and look after my kids. I actually want to be a stay-home mom. And he was very worried because I am such a bundle of energy. And he thought, what am I going to do with her? She's gonna bug me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you'll manage. You've got too much energy. I said, no. I feel that I have such a small window to be a mom, to influence, to mold, to nurture my kids. And I feel I want to be there full time. I don't want to miss a child waking up. I don't want to miss a first step. I don't want to miss a first smile. And that was just me. So when the babies came, I resigned and started working towards being a staying-home mom. The question was, we needed a second income. Why? Because I am not willing to reduce my lifestyle. So something must give. This is a lifestyle I have defined for myself. This is what I want my family and I to do. We have holidays we want to go to. We have my kids I need them to go to certain schools. This is the lifestyle I've defined for myself. But one salary won't do it. Yet, I want to be a stay-home mom. Okay. Now, what's important in life, I've realized, is first of all, define what you want.
Yes.
The solutions will come. So once I decided that, and we started having this conversation, what are we going to do? My husband is an architect. And as all Kenyans, you always have this little piece of land somewhere,
Yes.
even if it's in the rocks of the
Right.
rocks.
Absolutely.
So we had our own to rocks of the rocks land. And we said, why don't we put up something? So we said, okay. And we put up our first investment in real estate. By the time baby was arriving, I was a landlord. There was my solution.
That was your
There was
solution.
the solution. But you see, the lesson is, Decide what you want to
Fast.
do, where you want it.
Fast.
Do not focus on, I am here, I don't know who I can. No. First,
I want
where
there.
do you want to go?
Right.
That is where I want to go. This is where I am. That is where I want to go.
So reverse back
Now.
and start
Now
the
we
step.
start. What are we going to do? How are we getting there? The solutions will come.
Yeah.
The right people will show up.
Come on
The
now.
right thoughts will come. You will meet the right people at the right time.
Wow.
So that's how we got into Saltaway Investment Real
Right.
Estate.
Right.
That was our first investment, and we've never looked back.
Wow.
So Saltaway Investment is a real estate investment company.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, you know what? There is a woman out there who is aspiring to be that CEO, because right now you're affecting so many, your networking, your branding beyond borders. What would you tell a woman as you look at her there? What would you tell her? Where to start, how to do it, and how to get up?
How many minutes do I have?
Two.
It is not that the woman who wants to be a CEO like Nana, what I would tell her is, what do you want to be? That's extremely important than what Nana is or anybody is or Reverend Kathy is. What do you want to be? What's your gut feeling? What's your love? What's your passion? What do you wake up in the morning? If you could wake up doing one thing tomorrow morning for free without being paid, and you can do it for the rest of your time, the rest of your life, right? What would that thing be? That's what you want to be. Once you're comfortable in that space that this is who I want to be, it does not matter where you are right now. Make that decision that that's where you want to be, and from there, the answers will come. One day at a time, challenge yourself to take a step towards that direction.
Wow. Wow. Isn't that amazing? That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Nana. That's amazing.
Yes, it
and
is.
you're a family woman. You love family. You know, I read on True Love. But
Oh,
you're just a family. You love your
I
family
love
first.
family,
They
yes.
come first.
It's
That's
a
beautiful.
haven.
That's beautiful.
It's our oasis out of the world out there.
Right.
We come home.
The
That's our
busyness.
oasis.
Right,
Yes.
right. Thank you so much, Nana.
Thank
I
you.
know that somebody has been blessed.
Thank you.
Including this wonderful audience. Hey.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And this is Woman Without Limits. I want to thank you for tuning in today. I know that the Lord has absolutely blessed you. May you have the most amazing, super cladualistic, expo halidocious kind of week.
It's not what you possess out here that makes you beautiful. It's what you possess on the inside. I am a peacemaker, but y'all know what a peacemaker is? A peacemaker is somebody who declares war on anything that disturbs their peace. And the minute you mess up my peace,
I'm Gadoni, and I'm a worship leader and a recording artist. I have collaborated on a few projects with Talanta Institute, and this gives me the confidence that it is the place to be for all talents. Talanta Institute is at the forefront of unveiling champions.
You only count stars at night. Somebody is in a night season right now. God is saying in this your night season, I want you to begin to count the blessing of the Lord that maketh rich and addeth no sorrow with it.
Hello there. I'm inviting you for the Daughters of Zion meeting. It's going to be on 27th of May. Now, if you want to know how the Daughters of Zion meetings have been, you better find out.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So just say, beautiful.
In your night season, God is speaking over your life. It doesn't matter how dark it is. The stars, if you can number them, then you can number where God is taking you.
Don't miss it for anything. It's going to be absolutely awesome.